So what? Look.
It's the new OGs. The new OGs is a State and Madison Entertainment production and is brought to you by Solar Masters. Look, Illinois is changing how people get their electricity, and Solar Masters is helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that lets them get solar power at no cost. If you're a single-family homeowner in the state of Illinois, you can lower your electric bill, you can raise the value of your home, and you can do something good for the environment without paying a single dollar out of your pocket to do so. In fact, Solar Masters can only work with you if they can save you money. Solar Masters is a black-owned company, and they're a SunPower dealer. That's an American panel maker with over 30 years of solar experience, and they even have a referral program that pays out as much as $500 per referral. So head over to www.go. Yes, sir.
I would like to go over the. I want to go.
You want to go over the particulars?
I want to go over the particulars again.
Yeah.
Just we won't go. It'll be casual. If you notice, I've done my appropriation again.
Yeah, you're appropriating. What are you appropriating? I don't know what that is.
Bad accents?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, there it is. And I'm a bad accented American. And
You're Ray Winstone in Black Widow.
Well, okay.
He missed it a couple times on that one, but go ahead.
So
go ahead. You have questions.
I have questions. I just want to make sure that everyone understands.
Okay.
That if they go with you,
yes.
and they get into the solar, they get solar for their abode. They will save money on their monthly tally for their bill.
Yeah, they'll save money on their electric bill. Yes. That's right.
They will help the environment.
That's right.
It's a very important thing.
That's
the queen.
Right now, that's a big deal. Right. The queen.
And then even if they can't take advantage of this, but if they know someone that does and can, and they refer that person,
and they refer that person, you're getting better.
$100 every time.
$500 every time, and in fact, up to $20,000 before tax because it's all digital.
Well, Bobby, I'm having a slight mental break. I've broken up with my girlfriend. I stopped performing, and I've been really, really sad. But that sounds better.
This does sound better. Hey, when you're ready to get back out there and you want to be able to afford some of the dates with all this inflation going on, make sure you get over to www.gosolarmasters, get that $500 referral, refer somebody that you know, or get a free consultation for yourself. We are also brought to you by People of Comedy. Get over to People of Comedy on Facebook.
Yeah, baby.
See all their great shows offered there. They are all over this city. Their imprint is everywhere right now. Check-in Daily. They've got new, fresh podcasts you can watch and listen to wherever you listen to pods. What is going on, everybody? How are we doing? It is Friday. It's a weird Friday. It was like raining off and on the whole time coming down here.
I want to keep doing the accent, Bobby.
I know you do.
I really do. Here's something you don't know, Bobby, because I got here before you.
Yeah.
Mushrooms before the show.
Oh shit!
No!
Oh shit!
Had them with a Reese cup. They were delicious.
Oh great! So we have a British, we have a DJ with us the whole show, guys. Because if you're black and you have a British accent, it's literally
you're a DJ.
Even if you're famous for something else, you're still a DJ. Idris Elba is a DJ.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most famous black British actors there is, and dude is a fucking
fact,
DJ.
She's only British by marriage, but Meghan Markle is a DJ.
She's also a DJ.
Markle.
She'll have the accent. I bet money she's gonna pick up the accent, right?
Well, not anymore because she lives in Hollywood.
I don't know. Dude,
she's gonna. Dude.
You know, Madonna didn't have to stay in London to keep that whatever that affectation she's got going on with her voice.
Nah, she was like with Guy Ritchie every bloody day.
Yeah. Madonna's got Madonna is and Marianne Williamson and like a few other people have like created these accents that are not from. It sounds like you trying to do an accent. That's because it's just like that's nowhere land. Is that where that accent's from?
Is that fair? I think if you spend an extended period of time anywhere and you have any sort of empathy in your being, you pick up some effect.
Mr. Mushroom is giving me Mr. Mushroom has a whole thing. He's got a whole thing about empathy going on.
You should have some effect of an accent because what the fuck were you doing the entire time? Pushing everyone away. Were you not making connections on your journey? You spent an extended period of time there. You should have gotten to know someone well enough to let them in.
X broke up and has been on London Tinder probably, and so he's like just checking it out and seeing what the possibilities are. Is that?
It would be nice.
Have you been returned to the wild, young man? Have you been returned to the wild?
I am back out in the wild. Raw. I'm back out there.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna take a bit of time to myself. I'm gonna get some new mushrooms.
Could you imagine if every time they just gave him a different accent? If every time,
that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. We had to find the one. We had to find the hood accent.
If this is your first time tuning into the show, this is not how I speak at all.
Yeah,
this is a horrible accent. I'm tripping balls and having fun with it.
I was hoping there'd be a time where I'd be able to refill this bubbler because X would be ranting about something and carry the show for a minute. But it seems
I'm gonna carry the show. I'm a professional, man. I'm a professional. I'm gonna do my job.
It seems like we're gonna be rolling with,
and we have fun stuff right at the top.
We finally decided to do it.
Thank God.
I tried to save it for like a palate cleanser towards the end of the show.
It was a small amount of mushrooms, Bobby. It's not. I have to drive home, man. Jesus, come on.
I try to save like the fun stuff for like towards the end of the show. Sometimes as palate cleanser after we go through the rancorous shit that every week brings us by being humans on this planet. But sometimes we get caught up in conversations.
Oh! Is this about last week, Bobby?
Hey man, I ain't saying shit.
Well, there's a lot that we could. Is
this about?
I mean, here's the thing.
Shit? Fuck you.
Here's the thing. I didn't take us out of it any better than I could have either. I also allowed us to delve back into it a few times when we could have moved on. So it's not no one's at blame. No one did anything wrong or anything like that. We're all. I mean, the conversation goes where it goes. There's no fault to be had.
I just love how y'all act like I'm the only one who likes nice shit. I'm the only one who likes nice things. Everyone else is living in a cave.
I like nice things. I think that we can have nice things and also not have to have a giant unhoused population. You know what I mean? And it could still take precedence over space. I think all those are possible.
Believe.
But the
forced generosity.
So your week has led you back to mushrooms. Rob, what has your week done for you? Are you doing peyote now?
No, I have a particular strain. I was gonna switch up on y'all this week and get a indica as opposed to a sativa.
Oh shit!
I go to this black dispensary called California Cannabis. You dig?
Oh shit!
And
man,
I went in.
You need to do an ad for them.
And I went in. I'm doing a bunch of ads for a bunch of people. We already talked about that. But anyway, let me get back to my thing. So I went in there. And it was this little sister with this cute little fro thing going on and shit. And I was like, yeah, baby, whatever you say is what I'm gonna buy. I mean, and she was like, take this here, sir. And I was like, thank you. And baby, she was right.
She found the right one for you. Do you find that's generally what you do? You just rely on them telling you whatever the best move is, and that's what you go with?
Well, it's according to who it is and how I feel when I walk in.
Your level of trust for the person you see at the door. Like, if you want some bullshit, I'm not fucking with you.
Absolutely. The other thing is, guys, because I noticed I'm jumping the gun on some shit, probably.
Jump some guns.
Let them guns be
this
jumped.
Week,
damn those guns.
After the playoffs, it was something that came online on my phone. Yeah. Giannis.
Oh, Giannis doing a shit.
Yeah. So it's good. It's gonna be a good week for us to throw a bunch of shit on the wall.
Yeah, we should definitely.
Well played, Giannis. More reasons to like him as a champion. Number one player in the league. I just want to start a fight with Bobby.
Well, you are. I'm not saying.
I know I'm playing with you, Bobby.
Yeah. I'll be honest.
I'm just having a joke.
So that is one of the things that happened. The Bucks won the championship, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, and we'll talk about where Giannis ranks as a top end player. But you've got some other stuff going on. You're recording a new episode of something tomorrow, right?
I am. It was not tomorrow. It's
Sunday. I keep saying tomorrow. Every day is Sunday to me.
That's a nice life.
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful life, Bobby.
It's Langston Kermit's podcast. It's called My
Mama Told Me. My Mama Told Me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's literally It's I weird to say this, but it's my favorite fucking podcast, man. I love that podcast just because the concept of it is just dope.
It's generally like conspiracies that have proliferated through the black community largely,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
And it's and so he
And
brings
dude,
on
not
guests.
only does he tap on it like historically, but the brother is so brilliant. He taps on generational shit. You just got to pay attention to understand what he's trying to tell you. But like the last one that I heard, the last one that I actually listened to, and everyone I listen to it to the end. The last one I listened to, he was talking about Homie the Clown. Now, for me, as a dude of my years, it was like Homie the Clown was funny as hell.
Yeah.
But apparently some of us been fucking our kids up by telling them Homie the Clown gonna come get them and fuck them up or some shit.
Yeah, we turned it into a real boogeyman.
Yeah.
We turned Homie the like he.
it
There's
was like right after
there's
like we would
black people got like
school.
Candyman and Homie the Clown. Those are the two things.
It wasn't when you were in high school, was it?
What?
Was it? Yeah, you were still in high school when it happened. When they were doing that. Like the first time the Homie the Clown thing happened.
On Mad TV? Or are you
no,
talking about?
I mean in the streets with the children. The jokes about that, the rumor about that. Do you not remember?
No. So I remember. I remember it on the show, and I remember people fucking people up and saying that shit.
Oh no! So there was the show he's referring to, and I remember this like vaguely on the news, like not in conversation with anyone, but just like like on the telly.
What was this? BBC Channel 4, Channel 3?
There it is. You know, the evening local.
Right.
And so I remember them saying kids were afraid of being snatched by Homie the Clown. He drove around in a van. He was snatching children. And he was dressed like Homie the Clown. And he yelled Homie the Clown epithets and all that.
He addressed that too. They addressed that too.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if I remember. I just don't remember. I'm sure I had. I was alive and that I watched the news, so I'm sure.
It's literally like, I bet you if you Google like NBC News Chicago Homie the Clown, you'll see like a reporter on the side of the street, like behind a playground behind her.
Of course.
And then she's, children are worried about.
Here's where they're stealing motherfuckers from.
Homie the Clown.
Where you can't play, where you supposed to play, you can't play that no more.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I was.
It was
aged out.
It was like Black Satanic Panic. Is that what?
I was aged out. I don't want to steal a Deanna Ortiz.
I'm not that much young. I'm only.
But I didn't think you were like afraid of being snatched.
No. I don't think I've ever been afraid of being snatched.
If you were in high school, you would have known people still in like maybe elementary school.
Yeah, my sister's 5 years younger than me.
Yeah,
but
she would have been afraid.
Yeah, I don't think
that's why I thought you might have.
That's also somebody who ain't never been afraid of shit. My sister's less afraid of shit than I am.
This accent's getting better. You have to admit that this accent is getting better. The more I do it, the longer I live in it. The longer I stay with it, it's becoming a thing. I think it's consistent anyway.
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Consistently what? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll just. I'm sure you'll keep it going.
Vague.
You know, I'm sure you'll keep it going. But you know, you play out a character sometimes. And speaking of playing out a character, we have a new Batgirl. She has been chosen. Leslie Grace, who is most recently seen in The Heights. I think her last name is Martinez. Actually, her last name is not Grace. I don't know if you know this.
I did not know that. So, yes, Leslie Grace Martinez. I think I did see that.
Yeah. She is. She's Hispanic. I'm not sure if they're gonna set this movie in the world of Robert Pattinson's Batman, but Jeffrey Wright is Jim Gordon and Batgirl is Barbara Gordon. So are they just like? Have they just decided we're going with random ethnic because Jeffrey Wright is not Hispanic?
Yeah. But he plays Hispanic.
That's what I'm saying, though. Are they just going with like, we're just like, just anybody brown? Can we just get somebody brown to play the daddy and somebody brown to play the daughter, and then we can just be like, they're of an ethnicity?
Yeah, because, no offense, but fucking ain't nobody in here Hollywood white people. Hollywood white people usually don't take that extra step. With the
they're just like, just get
they're brown.
Two browns.
Figure it out.
They can play the. I mean, most of the WWE in the 80s and the 90s were guys playing.
They had, what's the woman from Fame? Not Eric, not Ian Carey, not Fame. Oh God, there was a show. I'm gonna stop fucking accent. I'm out of it. Fuck the accent. There was a show about Chicago, and it was Chicago. It was Chicago police. It was on Fox, and a black. She's biracial sister from like the 80s played like a police
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're
but
talking
my
about.
point, only reason I'm trying to bring this up, I'm sorry for laboring in this, but they made her do
Jennifer Beals.
Jennifer Beals, yes, Jennifer Beals. They had her doing a like Saturday Night Live
Flash
Chicago
dance.
accent.
Yeah,
and it was trash. And she was black, and like the rest of her family was like my complexion. They didn't give a fuck about that. Just like she's lighter than Bobby.
I used to watch that show because she was on there, and I don't know what.
As light as Bobby.
Yeah.
And her family is all my complexion, and none of them have the accent. Only she had the fucking social. Like I can't even do it. That accent I can't do.
I do this terrible suburban accent that's basically
you guys
every white layman that I've ever known.
What's couple two tree? Yeah, that type of shit. A couple two
I think
tree.
that's a really funny thing about Chicago, though. It's a place where you have these, like when if you're white, your impression of a Chicago accent is that. Right,
yeah.
like it's the Bears, right? The Bears, the Bulls, the Bears, Nance and Sue's.
Except for it's the type of talk you hear at the firehouse. Real guys, real fellas, men's men, speak in this manner.
But like
Chicago Joe Pesci.
But like when you get around black people and you're like, and you say something about a Chicago accent, they're like, This is it.
This is it. It's just how we talk.
This is the same. We're from the same place.
Proper English, but we say Joe.
We're from the same. We're from the same place them white people are from, Joe. I don't know what the fuck is going on with them. I don't know why their voices do that.
God, in order to get away from saying Joe all the time, I had to leave Chicago.
Yeah.
I used to say Joe so goddamn much.
Because when you get away from people who don't say Joe and you say it, somebody will stop you like at the third Joe. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Are you calling me Joe?
You think I'm Joe? I'm not Joe.
Hey, but I tell you what, I did let go. I did let go. Jack. I didn't let Jack go. I keep Jack.
But it's funny.
I think that's a Mississippi Delta.
But that's funny though. Is like
thing.
white people don't say Joe. White people from Chicago don't say Joe.
No.
They'll call their mom Nance or Suze, but they won't say Joe. You know what I mean? Like they're real big on every kid is big on getting to say the shortened version of their mom's name, right? Like
there's a whole bunch of
my sister calls
Irish
my
shit.
mom Mern all the time, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? That's mom. Stop that. That's mom. Stop it.
There's a whole bunch of Southside Irish shit that they got going on. It's actually kind of dope if you take away if you eliminate the racism.
If you got rid of the racism,
if you eliminate racism, it's fucking great. It's a great party.
I'll be honest, man.
Great time.
Like
fucking great time.
Like when they're not being racist, the Irish and Italian people in Chicago are fun as fuck.
Man, they are
so fun,
dude. If you drink and you don't drink with Chicago Irish, you don't drink.
The cool ass versions of those people in this town are fucking a blast to hang out with.
I'm saying they're the type of dudes that have knuckled down before.
Right.
They just know how to act.
Yeah.
They do not disrespect you.
Well,
here's
the thing.
And if somebody else disrespects you, before you can check them, they're like, "Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you?" Like those type of dudes.
There is a
check they boy.
There is a layer of we talked about.
I've seen Joe Kilgallen do that multiple times.
There is a layer we talked about. We talked about it last week. There's this layer of issue of how our economic system works, where like the lowest caste includes some of the people that are involved in the supremacy side, right? And like the key is those people, and there are some of those people that have figured that out that are in Chicago. Now they don't happen to work a job that allows them to do much about it, but that's okay. We're just glad to see somebody on our side. You know what I mean? Like but no, predictably Leslie Grace gets Batgirl, and predictably, people on social media, we're not very excited about a non-white woman playing Batgirl. That one as expected. You know what I mean?
It was just like when Saka and Rashford missed those kicks, man. Saka, Rashford, and I can't remember the other Sterling. Missed those kicks. This is
America, nigga. You got to talk. You got
in the Euro.
I mean,
final,
I know, but because I know you.
In the Euro final, they missed the three penalty kicks. The three black players, when they missed those kicks. As soon as that shit happened, I was like, man, it's a bad day to be black in England because this shit, the N-bombs are coming.
Incredible, man.
The N-bombs are coming.
Because of how you felt about your team, something so trivial as that, black people in the whole area got like, God damn, why y'all?
But here's the thing. I want to make this fucking clear to anybody watching this. I am in no way trying to excuse their racism. I am not. Here's the thing: if those motherfuckers were Italian, but they played for the English team, they do the exact same racism towards them too.
Yeah, because that's how supremacy works.
That's how. I mean, that's it. That's how they take it that seriously.
Right.
Though.
Yeah,
like they like it's the rate. They don't. I don't think. In their minds,
you're not saying it's special.
In their minds, they don't think that that's racism. They think that they're just getting off their fucking anger. I know that it's racism.
It includes racism.
I understand that it's racism. It's their natural trigger to go there. But like they care about that shit way more than we could ever understand.
That is also
I am not
flaw.
apologizing for it. I just think it needs to be pointed out that they care about that shit at a level.
I thought it was funny.
In Brazil, a dude got killed one time for missing.
Yeah. I thought it was funny how the defense by white people of their being upset for this was because Batgirl, Barbara Gordon in the comics was a redhead. And so their argument is that there's a continuing extinguishing of redheaded characters played by that. Like that's where they do their race swapping is they find the redhead.
Gender bias.
Hey, you know what?
They're saying like this is why it's reverse racism because they always go after redheads if they're going to gender swap or if they're going to race swap a character.
I have a pilot that I wrote that will help fight that agenda. And it's with Joe Kilgallen.
I love that confidence.
Joe Kilgallen, Kyle Scanlon,
Mike
Babinskoy, and Matty Ryan.
Yeah.
It's four brothers, four Chicago brothers. One's a cop, one's a firefighter, one's a politician, and the other one's a hoodlum.
And every show they just sit around and question their life choices.
Yes, while drinking.
Are we wrong? Are we bad?
Yeah. and through it all, they fight.
And the only guy who's consistently right is the hoodlum.
They discover stand-up comedy.
Oh God! Oh no! We gotta change that ending.
That shit can sell. Anybody hit me up.
Speaking of the ending, we didn't get a chance to talk about last week, but Loki had its season finale, not series finale, season finale. Yes, they were talking about the fun stuff first. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I originally as this
magical,
it's funny because originally as this season opened, it started off as this idea of what I thought was a white man coming to grips with how the repercussions of him just trying to act a fool for like needless power was, right? Yeah. And then it evolved in this thing where like, which shows like how much the white man is in love with himself, that he's he's created a version of himself that's as mischievous, if not more, that he has to somehow try and tame, right? And and then in the end, when it really came down to it, the guy who was running shit the whole time was a brother anyway. So who could only be defeated by himself. You know what I mean? Like that's which I thought was an interesting path to take it on, which now sets up the rest of the next phase for Marvel.
I'm pretty sure. It was. I feel like it was actually pretty clear that it sets up Loki to be a hero now. And because he's the only one that knows, and I'm gonna guess. I don't think this is a super leap, but I feel like season 2 is basically gonna be him, fucking hair on fire, trying to tell everybody and whatever. Him jumping into different time things, trying to tell.
What it creates
what the fuck is coming.
What it creates in the meantime is it allows him to show up and have guests. Like he can, they're like, who's gonna play that like Fury Robert Downey Jr. role of just like showing up at the end of the movie to like move the end of whatever next thing's plot along was. And now you have a guy who literally is the only guy who seems to know what exactly is going on. And like, who besides he and Sylvie know what's going on in the multiverse right now?
Exactly. See, this is what he could do, though. This is what he could do. He can go to any one of the Avengers he wants to and holler at him and get him to come with him. And each, and you could do that with each.
It's not that easy because it's Loki, nigga.
He can't just show up and be like, hey, Captain America, what's up?
Yeah, like as soon as it's on site, fam. It's on site with him.
So this is.
You could at least get Thor.
This is
and if you
Thor would trust
Thor, you can get the rest of them motherfuckers.
Thor would trust you. That's his fatal flaw that he always believes in Loki.
So the other thing is we've all seen Black Widow also, right?
Yes.
So the end credit scene of Black Widow with what's her face's character, the Countess or whatever, Lady Veep, Lady Seinfeld Veep.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So the question is, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is
what was the fucking bad guys in the organization?
Which Hydra?
Hydra. Is it Lady Hydra? That's what she
is.
Yeah,
she's Lady Hydra. Yeah. Well, in the comics at one point she's Lady Hydra. But the thing about her though is like, so she's obviously running agents, right? Like she gets Walker and Captain America and the Winter Soldier. She's obviously running the new Black Widow on some shit. Like she's handling her. Yeah. But she's not just running shit on her own, right? Like who is running her? So the question is Kang running her somehow through somebody? Or is she connected to Loki through the multiverse? Or because here's the question:
could it be even though she's getting all these edgy motherfuckers? Could it be she's on some black guy with a patch in his
Fury? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So
she
that's what I'm saying.
Agent Fury shit of like, they not doing it right. I need these type of motherfuckers.
So why I keep trying to get through all this is because the story of the Dark Avengers is probably like a path that they're going to try and go down where so you guys are like, who would Loki go to first and foremost? Loki would go to a villain, right? He'd go to somebody who's shunned, who's been turned away. So maybe he finds Lady Hydra, who is maybe running Hydra shit, and is like, you've been turned away. You need something to run. I got how we can run shit because there's a bigger problem going on. But I don't know no one else will believe me. Maybe they even show he tried to go to Doctor Strange and somebody else and get his ass beat and be like, all right, fuck it. I need a new plan. And season 2 is him running down all these people and they assemble Walker and Black Widow and the next crew of Avengers who will go after Kang from the dark angle. I mean, possible.
Yeah.
Possible. It's
also, you know what's funny is I could see him also going back in time, trying to get heroes and running into himself and like the temptation to like who wouldn't walk past the thing on the the thing on the table that you adjust because it's like off tilt and stuff. You're gonna walk past that in your life and not go and not try to fix it.
Don't marry that bitch.
Yeah. He's gonna walk past this moment in his life. He's not gonna tell Loki back then like, hey, it's not gonna work out for you. You know, like whatever.
Hey. Yeah, fuck you, Dad. I'm worthy.
You stole me from ice people, you motherfucker. No, I thought the series turned out to be pretty amazing. We had talked a little bit about
finale,
this.
Man,
well, see, we had talked a little bit about this. We had talked a little bit about this because there are some reviews over the series that didn't like the fact that this, despite the first 4 or 5 episodes being so much about Loki's evolution and recognition of who he was as a person or character in this universe, and that the last episode was really Jonathan Majors as He Who Remains, just basically giving like exposition the whole time, setting up what's about to happen. And there are people who are disappointed by that, but they were disappointed, I think, because they looked at the series like how every other television series works. And like, if you're gonna buy into Marvel, and there's people who are like, I don't like Marvel because you got to watch all of them. Yeah, that's the gimmick.
Yeah, that's the gambit.
That's the whole thing. That's how the current Marvel game. If you want to be into this shit, the reason I liked comic books is because every week there was some new shit about to come down and keep the story going. And I like the idea.
That's a moronic reason not to like some shit.
Some of my favorite Transformers were the Constructicons because you had to get the whole set.
It keeps me compelled.
I want to, yeah, right. For me, just the idea of being able to do a continual story where you keep creating a way to make that move on through different directors and actors and storylines, like that's amazing to me.
Climax and ending to its thing. It's not like I mean, yeah, they give you a cliffhanger, but you don't have to fucking bite if you don't want to, man. That's just a fuck those people.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Man, like that's the beauty of the stories. They both stand alone. They can't stand. You know, some of these stories are compelling enough to stand alone, but like anything else in life, we are all related. It's a circle. Right. We live on a circle. We all touch each other somehow, some other way, even if it ain't directly. And that's what these stories do. They show how much we are in relation to one another. And the other thing is they tell a story that is so well told with so many details that as an artist, you just like watching the brush strokes. I mean, me personally.
Well, they also are kicking DC's ass by doing it this way, despite what some people are saying. Like the overwhelming response is like, yeah, some of the shit may be a little mediocre, but like in comparison to some of the other shit that just blows you away, right? Like as even they're like, you know, save for probably maybe 3 movies out of all the ones that they've made. Like there's 3 movies that like probably would have been bad as just regular action movies for a movie, but the rest of them are like average and above essentially for what you're getting and for the story and for the costume and for like the way they pan out and how
if you
like
go in buying like I think I just said this to you last week. I was watching
it's not like the first Suicide Squad where they had that one character that lasted 5 minutes and didn't say a word. His head got snapped. Like they put the bombs in their head. This nigga tried to run away right off the bat and was gone. Bow. He said no words. It was like, why did this character? They put this dude in the movie
just to get his head blown off.
So
just to get
they're
his
like,
head
we need a guy. There's
hey
no.
Man, that dude got paid handsomely.
that
guy was in a fucking superhero movie. You get to tell his kids that shit.
Yeah, Rob.
The other thing about Marvel is that those cats that when they can find the weakest of them and make them the main part of the story.
Yeah.
Like nobody realizes how much Doctor Strange is important.
Right.
That one little scene that they planted him going through all that shit. That man.
I mean, think about Ant-Man, right? Ant-Man is like a very average, like he's not a big name star character at all. But the whole concept of what's happening in their universe right now is built on the precept that in his movie he went to the quantum realm. Like the whole concept of this how their time is working is built on this quantum realm shit. And so yeah, Marvel's a champ. Another champ out there, as we were talking about earlier, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Dude, you segue too quick. I'm not tripping. I'm laughing because I just ate those chips, completely forgetting that we're broadcasting live on the thing.
Oh, no.
I'm feeling it like I wear it like just like
you're just like crunching away on the mic.
I'm just crunching away on the mic. Eating chips we're on like live video, so that was a high moment, but I wasn't like losing it. I was just like, God damn it, maybe I did do too much, but I'm okay.
I do like how you play by play your own like on-air foibles, like before even because like I hadn't quite noticed that was even happening, and so we would have like probably some listener
there's like
and
3 people watching.
They would have known what was going on, and then like but at least
I don't want to let those 3
when we go through the playback, I'll listen for it now.
2 of them on me on other devices. Yeah, so whoever that other person is, I love you,
Giannis.
Thank you for watching.
Giannis won his first title. The Milwaukee Bucks, first time since 1950. They've won their first title. Wisconsin showed out. The parade was insane.
Yeah, man, they let old players come back. Michael Redd was in the house.
Yeah, Brandon Jennings.
I think Mike Finley was in the house.
Brandon Jennings
stole
the show.
In the house. Yeah. So yeah, that's dope.
It was
all them niggas in Chicago anyway. So.
I was surprised that series. I thought it was going to be a 7-game series, and not because I thought the Bucks weren't good. I thought the Suns were a much more like competent overall unit than they put together, but they really like.
We had this discussion off air, and I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm just
I'm not going to fight with you about it because I don't think we're as far off about it in reality as
I think
as it comes off.
I keep looking back at like the shit that he did. Like basically, he was afraid. And I was putting all that shit on Budenholzer, the coach, and maybe I need to take some shit off. Maybe I need to take some of that shit away from him because Giannis did say that he was stubborn. But like through the first three series, this motherfucker was shooting threes. They whole offense. They had no offense, man. Like I watched it. Like I thought I was being like some weird judgmental fan. But I watched it with another dude that I know play high level sports.
Right.
And we both were like, yeah, they're not even running a fucking offense. This is the stupidest shit we ever seen. And that was at the game. And so that's why I was hard on him. But I realized it was Giannis who was so afraid of shooting free throws. He wouldn't go in. When he had the thing that broke through, he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make these motherfuckers. Right. Once he had that like breakthrough, they couldn't do shit with him. Like they weren't prepared for him to just say fuck it, stop me.
Yeah. So the thing is like because
Mike Tyson,
because there's been a lot of discussion over like does this make Giannis the number one guy in the NBA? And you know
until they figure out how to stop
here's my whole thing about it is that like through every series, and there are some doubts about every team as they're trying to get to a title, but I watched this team fall down 2-0 twice in the playoffs before they got to this part where they also fell down 2-0.
Yeah.
And in every series, the questions were literally, is this, I mean, yeah, he's amazing, but is he actually enough? Like
almost every time, with the exception, I think, of maybe 2 or 3 times through the whole playoffs. Almost every time, the answer was Giannis figured out something.
Absolutely, and I don't doubt that.
Shit.
But this is also a league where every other team that's going, it's got, if you don't have 2 superstars, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have 3 superstars on some of these teams, if you don't have an amazing head coach who is ridiculous or some crazy front office guru, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And so
in a small market.
And so my whole thing is like, I don't want to try and take respect away from Giannis or even the fact that he might be the number 1 player in the league. My argument is with those people that also would argue that not only is a team like mediocre and or less, but the coach is so bad he should be fired. Because even as good as, if you're like, for Giannis to be that good, to overcome a totally dog shit team and a dog shit coach, the claim would be that this is the greatest basketball player who has stepped onto the face of the earth. Like, he'd have to be so far leaps and bounds better than these teams that have 2 and 3 superstars. And I'm just saying that's quite a claim. So the only thing I'm saying about Milwaukee and them winning the title is, I think either A, Budenholzer's a better coach than people pegged him as, and maybe that's the case. Or B, the team is probably better than people call for, and maybe it's because of Giannis, right? Like Drew Holiday on the Pelicans may not be the same Drew Holiday you get on the Bucks, and that's a plus for Giannis. But also,
I'm going to concede that Budenholzer is a better coach than I'm giving him credit for, in this, that he figured out how to work the psychology of Giannis, because that's what it is. He had
they didn't come back and win those series just because he was like, guys, go get him, and they just magically.
Yeah, I mean, no, this nigga just no. Here's the thing.
He plotted some shit out, man. His defense is still based on a drop, but like their defensive tenacity is that's a design of his.
Yeah, but okay, his offense is shit. But here's the thing, and he didn't change his offense. In the finals, he literally just finally got through to Giannis that, goddammit, just fucking don't worry about shooting free throws, man. It still works out better for us if you go to the line.
Half the time when Giannis missed, he was in the lane getting his own free throw anyway.
And so once Giannis broke through and realized that, they can't stop me from doing this.
Yeah.
like once he obviously he knew that already. He's Giannis, but but he didn't worry about the free throw shit so much.
Right.
When you can do shit they could do.
Yeah, right.
It's 2 things to me that was appeared, and I didn't watch that much of it, but what I did watch, I saw 2 things. One is that there was another team on the floor, right? It was another team on the floor, and those guys stopped hitting shots. When you gotta keep your game from the outside, you could get some glory, but sometimes it's gonna be some days where everybody ain't gonna shoot shit.
Yeah.
And when that happens, and you gotta do like Giannis, and again, that's the funny thing. Whether there's 2 phases to everything. Just like you said, the dude is a defensive guru, and he had animals who could get it done. I mean, like, Giannis, this dude is not no normal human being.
Not at all.
I don't know how much of a defensive guru is. Giannis is a beast. This motherfucker blocked a 7'2" center who was coming down with 2 hands, and he sent that shit.
He didn't just block it.
He's not the only person.
He didn't just block it. He didn't just block it. He had shifted from Ayton to play help defense on the guy who threw the alley-oop, and then turned around and went back to the alley-oop and blocked the dunk.
I can't wait to see DeAndre Ayton on a podcast explaining what the fuck was going through his mind when that happened. Because when you're 7'2" and you go to catch an alley-oop, you don't expect to see.
You pretty much thinking it's just gonna be you.
What's up? Nah, he had to be.
usually, regardless of your height, if you get up for alley-oop, you expect to be the only guy there when you're going for it.
Especially when you're an athletic 7'2" nigga. Like DeAndre Ayton ain't like a clumsy 7'2".
No, he's agile.
He's super athletic, man. He got some pop too.
Well, Rob,
go ahead, Rob.
Well, I said the rest of the team had to play defense too.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from him defending 3 motherfuckers at one time.
Yeah, I will say, Michael Bridges disappeared in that series. He went away. Jay Crowder went away. The rest, it became Booker and Paul, and nobody else was really adding a lot.
Here's what I'm saying is, you ever been in a fight with somebody, Rob, or seen somebody in a fight where somebody else had literally had a dog Like they crew had a dog with him, and the dog was kind of going crazy. And the motherfucker that was trying to fight was halfway worried about the dog and worried about the nigga that was gonna fight. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
if
but
you don't
I
know
have
that,
seen. But let me tell you what I've seen. Something very similar. Some white boy doing some dumb shit, and another dude standing next to him that was an officer that just didn't say shit.
Right.
So the white
that's about to say.
So that's what Giannis is on your defense. He's that fucking growling pit bull that's on the side. So all these motherfuckers' defense look better because it's this fucking giant pit bull in the middle of the lane that's like, I dare you.
Yeah, he definitely raises the level of their game, but they also played better when it came down to it.
I'm not shitting on them, but if either one of them niggas did not Scottie Pippen, I'm trying to think. If one of those motherfuckers did
I'm just saying, as good as he is,
they're Horace Grant.
It can't be I'm just saying it just can't be both that the team is shitty and the coaches are terrible. Yeah, sure. I didn't mean to disregard what you're saying. I'm just saying, I agree with you. In some weird baseball news that came out, the Cleveland Indians are no longer going to be the Cleveland Indians. They showed their new logo today. They are changing from the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Guardians. They've got a new font.
So funny.
I don't know if James can find Cleveland Guardians, but it'll show the new look. I think the weirdest thing about them calling themselves the Cleveland Guardians is that it just changed a few letters, right? Because the Dians is still there.
Yeah.
So
that's the whole thing, man.
Like, was somebody in their marketing department just like, we can save a few bucks if we just change a couple of letters? Because it's the same.
Save millions and millions of dollars by keeping that shit looking close to the same.
It's pretty much the same font, which I guess we've decided is Native American font. Because they do that for
like
when you look at the
when you said it, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, fuck.
When you look at the Braves logo, or like that looks, there's like a similar thing for the Atlanta Braves. They've got like a choppy script. Like, see how the Braves is written? It's got its own little script thing to it. They're just decided there's like a font that's like unique. Okay, so I guess that's how the Indians would have written in cursive. You know what I mean? It just seems like an odd.
The Braves and you can't do it side by side. Oh, it doesn't matter.
But I just wonder if is the Washington football team going to call themselves the Guardskins? That's a similar.
That would be.
It would fit the motif. I would love it if Washington was just like, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going with Guardskins. We're gonna same colors.
Sticking with team in
Washington. We're gonna keep the face with the.
I think they're just sticking with the team in Washington, which actually is kind of dope.
Yeah, Washington football team.
That's actually low key dope because they can do anything.
It sounds like some old school ass shit for sure.
Oh fuck! Did I just unplug some shit?
You're fine.
The big man starts moving in the studio, and all of a sudden the lights go out.
I'm sorry, I was trying to stretch, man. Sorry about that.
Here's a crazy piece of social media since we're all on it. Remember when Twitter started doing the Instagram stories shit, the fleets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it might be you and me might be the only ones who remember it because it's not nobody.
Take off well.
Nobody used that shit. Nobody, and I can tell that's the case too because
I kept forgetting to do it.
Well,
I tried, but then I forget for a week.
I always use Instagram stories, and so occasionally I'll go over there and I'm like, I'll put this out on here too, but like there's nothing. And the other reason I realized it probably wasn't taken off is because I would sit there and try and watch other people's fleets. Yeah. And it'd go for like 6 of them and be like, that's all the fleets there is. It's like, well, I follow more than 6 people for sure. I follow like, 1,200-1,300 people.
Yeah.
And like 6 of them got some fleets in the last 24 hours. You know what I mean? It's just like, nobody saw this as a pathway to being seen anymore.
Yeah, it didn't pop. It might be, I just realized, I never paid attention, but Twitter and like all the social media is very different in other countries. Like they're charging right now in Canada and Australia. I don't know why those 2 countries, but they have a thing called Twitter Blue in those 2 countries that they're charging for Twitter, but you get like some kind of premium Twitter experience.
Yeah, you can get Twitter subscriptions now too, where you can actually pay for like special content from people on Twitter.
Oh, word?
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
They didn't even bother sending. The algorithm was like, don't even bother. don't even waste the fucking time.
Every fucking company out there now that's involved in streaming or media has like a whatever plus version. Like they're coming out with a CNN plus because people want to see more like centrist Democrat indoctrination. They're coming out with Tumblr Plus, where you can actually have you can have paid subscription versions of Tumblr now, where I'm assuming you may be able to is that how they're going to bring porn back? Because one of the things that really fucked over Tumblr was when they stopped letting them put porn on there.
That destroyed Tumblr, man. That was a Tumblr fucking exodus.
Everybody was like, "Oh, well, fuck," and then everybody went to Instagram, and then they started shadow banning people on Instagram for trying to link their OnlyFans shit on there, which is fucked up.
A lot of disgusting shit because a lot of them went to Snap. They're in Snapchat right now.
They'll blame on your content. They'll blame on your content. Anything that'll keep you making money, they're gonna try to find a way to slow it down.
Right, or they're gonna try and find a way to get their hand in the cookie jar for it. Right, so they're gonna create Tumblr Plus now, so you can then subscribe to these people who are gonna put up the content they're gonna put up before, and then they'll take they'll skim a bit out of that, right?
I'm not saying YouTube is the best, obviously, but they have a OG program that I kind of dig, where if your content picks up steam, they'll start compensating you for it. I mean, obviously
that's a TikTok route. That's what TikTok does.
Yeah, they have some suppression shit so the motherfuckers who do ads can win, but.
The real thing with TikTok is they'll throw new shit out there with the thing with TikTok is they throw new shit out there with the algorithm picks up what kind of shit your stuff is, especially if it's got hashtags, and it will throw it in with stuff that gets a lot of views already. So you have they just throw you. It's like they throw you in the lottery thing, and maybe somebody picks your shit. I was like, love that, gonna watch that guy forever.
So I don't know if it's because of I don't know why. But every now and then, TikTok throws me some racist shit, and I don't know if it's just we just mixing it up, buddy. Just want you to know, just go, or just hey, you'd probably be interested in knowing this shit is out there. Hey, you're a person who will. It's all I think.
Former Republican Xavier Lamont, would you like to see some things that may lure you back in?
You know what it is. You know what it is. The motherfucking algorithm knows that that's some shit that I will see and fucking retweet or download and send to a bunch of other people.
Yep.
So it's
because we do share.
That's what the fuck.
I mean, we share the bullshit. We do share the bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a pretty wild ride.
I kind of chilled on doing that shit.
Speaking of wild rides, we have had two wealthstronauts. These rich motherfuckers who are going to space. Jeff Bezos has now gone to space. Richard Branson went 50 miles up, which is not fucking space, by the way. Okay, there's the mark. I think it's you have to go. I think it's 60 miles. It's 100 kilometers. Which
the Kármán line is 52 miles.
52. Okay, so he did not.
He went right at the Kármán line. He went right up to the Kármán line and came down.
Yeah, something like that. He fucking. Of course it's virgin, so why would they actually penetrate? Bezos did go 60 miles up. I watched the whole thing. I think all the phallic jokes about a rocket is dumb because that's what the fuck rockets look like. Did you see all these? Everybody had a joke about.
Everybody made the joke.
It's do you know what the fuck a rocket looks like? Every rocket, people see the space shuttle. They see the U.S. space shuttles and shit, and they're like, oh, that's just supposed to be what they are. Or they watch sci-fi movies and they think everything looks like the Millennium Falcon. It's no, man. Most rockets just look like giant dongs. That's what the fuck that's.
Hey, man,
making a big straight dong is how you fly straight quickly. It's aerodynamically a good idea to have your rocket.
So here's the crazy shit though. Nah. And the aerodynamics, there's some truth to that. However, there's also the size and the way rockets are made.
Right.
You can Google this at home. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I am a little bit high, but it goes all the way back to fucking ancient Roman times and the width that they made fucking chariots.
Right.
Corresponds to what they did with wheels and roads, and the reason why roads are that car. And when they were building rockets, they couldn't build the train tunnels that they had to fucking ship the things to. Were built to those dimensions.
Yeah,
so that's part of the reason why those motherfuckers. That's why we don't have flat shit.
I do remember that meme, and I'm sure that's part of. I'm sure that maybe it's all of it, maybe it's part of it. I don't know.
It's history, whatever.
Yeah, but it's all. But that's where you found it. It wasn't somebody. You didn't read that. You didn't I read this in a book. You saw this on. You saw this online somewhere, right?
No, it was on Nat Geo or some shit like that.
I saw the meme, so
okay. No, I literally watched something on Nat Geo because it was when I was on the road. Fuck off. Nigga.
Here's what I want to say about it, though is I am It's exciting, but I'm also extremely disappointed. And I'm disappointed because when I was a kid, like I grew up on Star Wars and shit, and I thought the idea of being able to go to space was the coolest fucking concept in the world, right? Like to me, that was just like the idea that you could go to space, be okay, that we could go to another planet, that there might be aliens, whatever the case may be. I thought was amazing. I was just like, holy shit. And now that I'm older and I'm seeing the guys who are actually going to space, I am very angry that this is how we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like as I got older, I realized like this is probably how it was going to happen, and that made me unhappy. And now that I'm seeing it, like considering of what is actually still wrong in the world, I am not. I'm disappointed because I'm not excited about this. So, and I grew up wanting to be in like this is the thing. I loved it. The idea of this sounded amazing as a kid.
Here's the thing, Bobby. When you look at the sci-fi movies, you know what they always have? Slums. There's always poor. There's always poor people, Bobby.
Yes,
they never fixed that. They fixed intergalactic travel, but they couldn't stop people from being poor. Yeah, how the fuck is that possible?
There's not.
Oh wait!
You're seeing it happen right now.
I know, but like, oh god,
this is like,
oh god.
We've been trying to talk about capitalism for 2 weeks at least now, if not for 2 years, man. This is capitalism. And like, and I don't want to jump right back into that whole thing, but like,
I'm not going there.
I do want to say this. I do want to say this because I sent you this text last night when I was trying to talk this out, Robin. Like, it's not necessarily just about white supremacy. It is that capitalism is built on the concept of supremacism, period. That whoever is instilling the capitalism must create levels of supremacy because that's how the marketing to sell the shit in capitalism works. Take this thing. You'll feel better. Better than who? Somebody who doesn't take this thing, right? Do this, buy this food. You'll eat better. Better than who? Someone who can't afford this food. And immediately you create levels of who is good and who is bad, right? Buy a house that looks like this in this neighborhood to be better than the people who don't have a house, don't have that, don't live in that neighborhood. And who ends up living in the neighborhoods then creates a racial supremacism as well, or is designed that way, and that's what enacts out of it, right? And so that's
designed that way. But this is the thing that struck me. I mean, even though he a billionaire, even though he had the unmitigated nuts to thank the employees.
Yes. Did you hear that? Thank you to the employees and all the people who bought my shit. James, did you hear him say that?
He's lucky people don't eat him.
Yeah, it was a very
but
bold
on top
choice
of all of
words.
that, America still got their finger in his booty too, because this motherfucker left Earth.
And we couldn't keep him away. We let him come back.
No, he left Earth, and they still called him an astronaut.
Right.
We should have just taken all of his shit while he was gone.
Yeah, he was
off world.
Who's at the crib right now with him? Who's at the Bezos crib right now?
Like the 10 minutes he was going to space. Should have taken all of his things.
Well, I also
came back because that was a tax. That was a tax when you leave the world. We take your shit.
Think how interesting this is.
Yeah.
Because he left American soil and went to up, past ground, past atmosphere.
Right.
Because he left American soil, he was an astronaut.
Right.
So if he did the shit in Russia, would he have been a cosmonaut? You know what I'm
saying?
Like,
yeah,
cosmonaut is just astronaut in Russian, fam. That's just what we call that shit. Like they say astronaut too, basically.
Yeah, they're saying astronaut is just Russian. That's what cosmonaut is.
How high are you, nigga?
You're very high. You high too?
I'm like, what's the difference? Like,
yeah, I also think that there's not a situation.
I thought this nigga was finna drop a him. I was like, oh shit, come with it, son, come with it. Wait a
minute. The difference in the two is the first word.
Yeah,
so but I'm saying though, you decided that you wanted to call the people that go to space in America.
No, in Russia, they're calling him. In Russia, they're like he's a cosmonaut. He went to space. That's
like they do shit with K's and shit. They got a different language, man.
Ours look backwards sometimes. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, they do a whole, but that was like their thing. But it's basically the same shit, nigga. It's like
It's just and like you'll get the argument from
it's like here we say Joe, but in Philly they say buddy.
You'll get the argument from people trying to defend it that A, he gives away a bunch of money, and B, this is how we get advancements and shit.
Does he though?
No,
because
he doesn't.
He
does.
His ex-wife is giving away a bunch of fucking money.
Here's the thing: if you're worth 140 billion, and you land from flying out into space for 2 minutes, and you give away $200 million,
that's bullshit.
One, that's like nothing out of what
he
out of the money
made
you have.
That while he was in space.
Two, it's a fucking like money that you give away is a tax write-off. It is a write-off. You get to claim that on your taxes against your earnings. Did you see what his ex-wife is
giving away?
Yeah.
The amount she's not giving away bullshit like that.
She's giving away billions. She's giving away billions of dollars.
Billions and billions of dollars. She's like throwing that shit. Like, man, I hope I don't know what's going on in her world. I don't know if it's just like she feels like this is too much. I got to do it, or she realizes she's just a good person. I don't know what it is, but God, I hope she starts a trend.
You're locked into an Adam Burkish type of accent at this point.
I hope she starts a trend.
The real shitty trend that's going on right now is that COVID cases are back on the rise again. Delta
Black Adam Burke.
Delta COVID is
Shout out.
Bladham Burke.
Adam Black.
The Delta version of COVID is fucking people up. You know who's not fucking up?
In Illinois.
You know who it's not fucking up?
What's that?
Me, nigga. It's not fucking up me or you because
I
got that Moderna, bitch. I got that Moderna. You know what they ain't even talking about boosters for? Moderna, bitch. That's what they talking about. They talking about was the J&J enough? Do they need to get a booster for the Pfizer? You know who chilling in the background on the throne? Moderna.
Hey, Loki. Pfizer shit is good too. Pfizer
you're all good.
They trying to sell some shit. Them niggas like Pfizer's like, hey, know when we got these boosters on deck. And
Pfizer's like, we just had to pay a fine for some other shit, so we got to sell y'all some new shit.
Yeah, they doing the video game thing. They doing from Madden 1997 to Madden 1998.
We have seen no reason for motherfuckers to have booster shots.
I think the crazy thing that's going, I'm a little upset about the fact that when early on in the virus, I got so mad. Hold on, I got so mad at the virus that I stopped, or I got so mad about the argument on Facebook that I stopped participating. Yeah. Because I would love to be "I told you so"ing all over in groups I have now left. And people I have, I want to go back to people I in front and just be like, what are we going to do? People. What are we doing now, fam? Because you were telling me this shit was phony and that the vaccine was going to give you 5G or whatever the fuck. And now y'all the only niggas dying. You're the only ones. I'm out here running around butt-ass naked in the streets of Chicago just breathing mouth to earlobes on people.
Hey,
and nothing is happening to me. Nothing. I'm being chased by people, but nothing else is happening to me. And y'all down in Mississippi or whatever the fuck where y'all believe vaccines are the devil or whatever the fuck and that Jesus is your savior. Did you see that shit
I sent y'all from Kay Ivey?
Yes.
The balls that bitch had to say that.
Kay Ivey, who propagated a bunch of shit. She propagated all types of bullshit.
She just vetoed, or not, I don't know if it was a veto or she signed a thing that basically banned businesses from being able to make people wear masks. Like 3 months ago, like in March, she fucking forced them to not allow masks.
If
businesses
he dies,
that wanted to
dies.
have masks. And now she's tripping at the fucking that.
Yeah, well, how about that dude who had COVID after not getting the vaccine and was on the news talking about
assholes not figure out that regulations.
Why would you put him on the news? Why the fuck would you put this idiot on?
Put him on the news.
Because motherfuckers need to see.
I need to know it. I need. Listen.
Rob, motherfuckers don't believe that people are that stupid.
I need satisfaction, Rob. I'm not going to get up all in these people's faces and be like, I fucking told you so, you dumb motherfuckers.
I'm about to make James feel bad.
We told you about science and you dumb assholes used every fucking excuse to try and make it something else, and now you're all fucking dying like idiots. We told you, we fucking told you. And so if I can't do that, which I think is rude and probably not appropriate and is probably a problem or whatever, in the meantime, I want them to put every one of these dumb idiots on TV in their hospital bed talking about how they didn't want to get a vaccination or they don't want to go and still don't want to get a vaccination and are currently breathing out of tubes. Yeah. I want to see everyone. Show me every one of them.
I'm gonna make James feel bad because James
That's
is a
probably
person
not great.
and not a vindictive man. But I know what you just said. So James, I know you're gonna squirm a little bit at this, but I want to literally go down my block list and unblock people just so that I can go through and find the places where like their grandma died from this shit or whatever, like somebody in their family died, so I can mark and then block them again.
Because
I just want to do that. That's how fucking vindictive I want to be about this shit, but I'm not gonna do it.
Because the thing is
Sorry,
like,
James.
I mean,
Sorry.
you know, they're going to extended links to try and push a bunch of bullshit still, and so you know, and in the meantime, they don't want to. My problem with the writers is they don't want to do no things. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to make sure that there's appropriate support for families. They don't want to give anybody no raises. They don't want to give universal health care. They don't want to wipe out no debt. They just want you to fucking die.
I don't. Okay,
Americans owe 140 billion in medical debt right now. 140 billion.
I'm going to say this.
To collection agencies, not even to the hospitals anymore.
I owe American screenwriters a huge apology because sometimes they create characters that are like total dicks, and you're like, how the fuck could somebody not see that's what they're doing is getting in the way of the thing? Like, how do they not see that? And then you meet these people who. This motherfucker's on a hospital bed, just barely survived this shit. Probably not even sure if he survived this shit. Like,
I mean, it's not over yet.
It's not over because there's people like they get out of the hospital and a few weeks later they get hit with some shit again. Because once that shit's in you, man, it's like when it's in you like that, if you ain't vaxxed.
I mean,
nigga, I just saw a nurse. A nurse had a thing where she was crying, and because she said motherfuckers it was somewhere like Alabama or Mississippi, where she was saying motherfuckers would be about to get incubated, and she's like, "Please, give me the vaccine." It's like, it's too late, sweetie.
Yeah.
It's too late. I can't. It wouldn't do anything. And then you gotta shove the fucking tube.
That's the person you put on TV,
right? I'm telling you.
You don't put this idiot sitting here looking as stupid as the rest of these idiots. And put him on it because really what you're doing is hammering the resolve of the other idiots.
Yeah, this nigga's
these
a hero.
Motherfuckers dude.
Speaking of the resolve of these idiots, so they try to put together this committee for January 6th to try and like figure out, like to go over and figure out what happened. And the hypocrisy of the Republicans is that they at one point were claiming that it was actually Antifa and Black Lives Matter. At one point claimed it was a very peaceful protest, which Donald Trump still claims that it is. But they also didn't want to vote for a committee to actually investigate what happened and what was going on. So the Democrats, because they're in power, have the right to be like, fuck it, we'll put together our own committee. And then they were going to put some Republicans on there, and they had Kevin McCarthy name as Republicans, and he named a bunch of insurrectionists.
Yeah.
He put a bunch of people on there.
There was three of the five that he got had voted against certifying the election.
Right.
After the insurrection. Not before. Yeah. After the fucking insurrection, these three motherfuckers still was like, nah, we still think we need to hold on doing this. Like, those are rat bastards. And hey man, these motherfuckers are lucky. Like, I am not promoting this. I don't want anybody to turn these words around and try to use this clip. But like 100 years ago, those motherfuckers would have got hung.
Right.
Like 100 years ago, these motherfuckers, that's treason.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking treason.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could not be, how the fuck could you be more treasonous than that? After the attack.
Right.
Like before the attack, you could say it's politics.
Yeah.
After the attack, that's open fucking treason.
I mean.
You were rooting for the fucking people who attacked the building.
Why people, like, here's how different a world I feel like we live in than the people in Washington, D.C. is that, like, the idea that Jim Jordan keeps getting added to anything. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody in the background. Somebody in the background's got to be like, we should probably fucking hold back on Jim Jordan, man. There's a lot of they keep bringing up the whole fucking bathroom shit. You know what I mean? Like they keep bringing up the bathroom shit about Jim Jordan. Like the guy running against Jim Jordan has even brought up the fact that Jim Jordan didn't say anything about the wrestling fucking coach and the diddling and all the other shit going on, which is crazy.
Yeah, Jim Jordan's a piece of shit. He's a scummy piece of shit. But somehow those squirmy motherfuckers, I don't know if it's dirt. I don't know if it's just the other side, like that's their pit bull. I don't know what it is, but somehow there's always one of those motherfuckers.
What were you saying, Rob?
The thing is, man, I just it always points to the same thing. It's not like, okay, they probably wouldn't have hung them back then because that's how all this shit started, is that they was dumping shit and doing civil disobedience and rioting and tearing up, because we have become a little more civil as human beings. Because if you think about how America started, it was kind of shitty. right? I mean, like if you were there, it had to be kind of rough to be around all these people who ain't got shit,
right?
Yeah. And so if you keep that going, if you can keep that going and keep them down there and keep yourself where you are, then you good, right? The other thing is, but in order to keep that going, you got to make somebody feel like they're responsible to you or that they working and getting a part of what they getting. Like you got to find a way to make them feel that way. And so if you and it takes generations to stop seeing it for them to start changing it. Like somebody's father who retired from IBM, you can't really tell them shit about America. You see?
Yeah, they're not folding.
He ain't trying to hear that shit. Yeah, that nigga retired with a fat pension.
He's pro-America.
And at the end of the day,
in the suburbs of the house that's worth 1,000% more than what he paid for it.
When you get to the point where you realize, if I got this, then you know what? But keep in mind, some people ain't getting shit. You see, so again, the system ain't right, and especially when you give them the head start you've given them.
Right.
If you're gonna tell me that McCarthy, this dude, he ain't not been popular. When has he not been popular? Since Newt Gingrich, they just said fuck the pomp and circumstance. They've been giving it to the Democrats like this forever.
Yeah.
The Democrats are finally starting to say slow down a little bit, but they ain't stopping nothing.
Let me talk about who isn't giving it to the Democrats right now. Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene are on this America First tour. They were in Southern California trying to do some shit. They got kicked out of their spot in Riverside and a couple other places, and then decided to have a quote unquote protest instead of doing an actual event. But also their shit is losing a shit ton of money. So.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, like since Gaetz and Greene,
I thought he was making a money.
Listen to this. The Daily Beast report: since Gaetz and Greene kicked off their joint fundraising committee with a May 7th event, they've posted a combined loss of $342,000. Recent filings with the FEC, that joint fundraising effort, put America First report only $59,000 in contributions. So $342,000 out, $59,000 in. So. They're in the hole by more than over $225,000. These are these were supposed to be the rising stars of the Republican Party, right? Like Marjorie Greene is supposed to be a big fucking deal, and Matt Gaetz is supposed to be a big deal.
You said they got kicked out of the place in Riverside, right?
Yeah.
Did they get kicked out by the city council or some shit? Or did they get kicked out by the venue? Because here's the deal. People who own venues in different areas and shit like that, you fuck them over. Like people think, we're gonna leave in town. I'm not even from this.
They're like, how's the money coming in?
Yeah.
Well, also Donald Trump.
Call ahead because you're fucking promoting where you're going. A venue owner will call. You gonna dick me over? Okay. Hey, these motherfuckers don't pay.
Yep.
Like motherfuckers do. People lose jobs for shit like that. All the time.
Oh yeah, well these guys are also Trump disciples, and Trump is famous for not paying places that he's been to. So.
If they only got $59,000 in contributions, how the fuck else are they paying for? I mean, Matt Gaetz is super rich, but he also doesn't seem like the type of dude that picks up the tab.
I also pondered over the last week whether there's something going on with Gaetz and Marjorie Greene.
Yeah.
You know, because Gaetz is a fuckboy, right? Like Gaetz is a guy who's just like, if she's moving, I'm in. You know, like that's. I know he prefers them younger, but you know.
But you know what? Guys like that prefer him younger, probably because those are the only ones that he can get to go.
Well, not only that, but like my thing is like those. If you're taking the if you're
perverted,
if you're taking the
pedophile,
hold on, but if you're taking the blinders off and you're going, I'll even go younger. Like there's nothing about older that's stopping you. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you are eschewing a chance at fucking because she happens to be an older woman, right? Like he's probably still going. Is my guess.
Okay.
Is my guess.
I didn't know if that shit was.
I don't even know if that's the case. I'm just making up. I'm just making up dirty rumors about Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Greene.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it.
Something that's not a rumor. So there was a big deal made a while ago about Joe Biden getting communion because he's pro-choice, and there was a Catholic Monsignor who wanted to deny him communion for doing that. The Catholic Monsignor's name, I forget his name. I'm trying to pull it up while we're talking about it now. But he tried to start a whole deal to prevent him from getting communion. It turns out that guy was found with a cell phone that linked him to a gay dating app. He's been on Grindr messaging dudes, which, by the way, is not cool with the Catholics.
Jeffrey Burrill,
yeah. Monsignor Burrill wanted to bar him from...
Monsignor Jeffrey Burrill.
Yeah, so his...
what parish? Let's call him out. Let's announce him
officially resigning because his...
is he? Damn shame.
because they find out that he's been trying to find dudes, which, you know,
fucking piece
I think religion is hilarious in the first place, but the idea that that's what happens.
Hey, he's trying to find dudes, man. Find love. Okay. Fucking
find dudes if you want to, but stop being an asshole.
Or find all the dicks you want to if you're not in love, man. Hey, I don't know you. But don't be a fucking hypocrite and like deny other people their happiness and shit while you're out there fucking secretly doing the shit. You piece of shit.
It's always these dudes reaching super high to fuck somebody else over who have some crazy ass wild shit that's like either. I mean, I don't even think it's crazy ass wild shit, but like considering
everybody has some crazy ass.
Considering
wild
his
shit.
Position though, like the whole concept of being a Monsignor is to be one of these guys who is like pretty close to being above, like the sins that you commit are supposed to be like on the low end, right? You're a Monsignor. You've devoted your life to being like on the like fulfilling this Catholic life, right? Like part of the reason you get to be the Monsignor is because you're supposed to be doper at it than other people, even though everybody sins, blah blah. But your sin's supposed to be like
that just means you read more.
Your sin's supposed to be like I said damn once this week when I stubbed my toe. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know if anybody has sins like that. Like. I know. I'm friends with some women who I happen to know go to gangbang parties, and I see their Snapchats when they're out with like their family and friends and shit. I'm like, I wonder if the whole family is in. Or is this like a total secret? Nah, because I mean, shit's hereditary, man. If you're freaky, here's something people don't like to think about. If you're freaky, at least one of your parents had something in them that was freaky deaky.
Maybe
you didn't, or that shit didn't originate. Man, a DNA is a motherfucker. Like,
yeah, but it may not be directly your parents. It could be like somewhere in your blood. Somewhere in the bloodline, you got somebody who and like, are we talking about freaky or are we talking about kinky? Because a kink can be something that you can acquire through your own situation.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
you may have your
true.
own issue that happens that creates a kink for you. Whereas, like, you know,
your
libido may be something that's driven by DNA. This is an important conversation.
There you go. That's fair enough. I like that.
Libido. Crazy strike going on. Frito-Lay workers have been on a crazy strike. They've been working suicide shifts at Frito-Lay.
What?
Which is they've been working 12-hour shifts and then off for 8 hours and then back on for another 12.
Oh my god! I am Ice-T in fucking the TV show. Law and Order.
Something.
SVU. Like, I have experienced this shit time and time again, but I am yet again shocked when you tell me fucking Frito-Lay is working suicide shifts.
Yeah, obviously in the course of a pandemic, one of the things that happens with everybody sitting at home is that our snacking has gone up considerably. And Frito-Lay makes a bunch of fucking snack food. And so the demand on them being in the factory working became very high. It's in Topeka, Kansas. So who the fuck is running to go live in Topeka, Kansas to go work in a factory, really? So, they need every employee they can get.
Hey. There's these guys called Boston Dynamic that has these robots that are going to kill people. That maybe instead of having to kill people, maybe after having them kill people, maybe they make potato chips.
Yeah, that's possible. That'd be a great thing they could do if they wanted to do that. That'd be a thing I would prefer them to do, you know?
Yeah,
and then maybe we can pay these people to do something else where they don't have to work fucking suicide. What a crazy name for something, a suicide shift.
At a potato chip place. I'm so happy
that
I'm trying to be less fat right now.
So the place is called Frito-Lay, which when you look at it, literally could be read free-to-lay, which is a terrible name for a company that's driving people to work 12 hours a day. That's the opposite. That's not the same shit.
Apparently, you got to stand all the time and produce potato chips. Also, what is the fucking work in a potato chip factory, really? You just looking for bad chips?
I don't know.
like, what's the work? The machine, does the whole everything.
I mean, somebody's got to man the machines, right? There's got to be some
like one of those How It's This Made shows. Like,
I don't know.
The machines do the whole. Like, what do the people do?
I don't know.
You just got to do something with the shit at the end where you put it on the truck.
There's got to be some like quality assurance shit going on. There's probably some refilling.
Let some shitty chips go through. Are they gonna poison us?
I don't know how it works.
If they ain't gonna poison us, let some shitty chips go through.
I hate shitty. Dude, in the little bags, if you get a shitty chip, I'm angry as fuck.
Yeah, it does. It ruins the whole
If you got like
bag.
17 chips and I get down to the bottom and there's one of those fucking like no good chips, one of the things that would have been killed in Sparta, they'd have thrown that motherfucker off they'd thrown that motherfucker into the hole or whatever. If they get one of them chips at the bottom, I'm like, God damn, this is how I gotta end this? Do I gotta eat more chips to make up for this now? And that's how you end up eating 15 bags of chips.
That's how they get you.
You anywhere this week, or you just eating mushrooms?
I am just doing mushrooms and experiencing life, man. At XL Comedy.
Go to XL Comedy. I'm sure he's going to have some conversations going on. He's back online. He's back in the world. I'm sure the exploits will begin like crazy. Rob, what you got going on, man?
Like we talked about, you can always check out the special, but I'm gonna be on the podcast. My mama told me with Langston Kermit.
Nice.
You can catch anything else I got going on Robert_L_Hines on social media.
Nice. If you're in Wisconsin, if you're in the Milwaukee area, I will be at Stockhouse Brewing Company in Wauwatosa on the 30th. I believe it's a free show. Get over to itsbobbyhill.com. Check out all my stuff there. Or you can go to @mocha_Jesus on Twitter and Instagram. My Linktree bio is there. You can find all of our great shows. We'll be back here next week. Make sure you get over to People of Comedy and People of Comedy Network on Twitter and Instagram. Find James Webb, see what People of Comedy is up to, and go check out everything they've got going on there. We will be back here next week. We'll check y'all later. That's what's up.
When I started. Fuck your bitch, now she get attachment. She get calling. High school, you was that nigga. Now you falling. I'm a zigzag through the gang like I'm smoking on trees. Niggas won't work.